Digital transformation. I think you all know what it means, how it's changing the world, but I still want to highlight some basics to you with security in mind. So thank you. You know who I am by now, so I don't have to repeat that. My books, you can later review the sessions together. But what I'm going to do as a surprise is, if you go to social media and tweet about this session, this could be any of those social media, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. You tag as and Digital Transformation Summit. I'm going to give one of my ebooks away of your choice, okay, for 3 people. Whoever goes and tweets the most, who gets the likes and retweets, will win the book. This is just a surprise, honestly, which came to my mind now. So, digital transformation. Last year, I used to work for a technology company, Microsoft, and we used to talk about digital transformation a lot. But every time I go to customers, they used to think digital transformation is way, way away, far away. They used to love their on-premise environment. They used to love what they do. They thought they were in control. But our world is changing. I used to say this for years, but I never expected that the change, it was going to be that big. COVID-19. We were in prisons in our house, locked down. You could not go out from your house and see your most loved ones, the ones that you care, your elder family, for example, or you could not even do your basic grocery. And this is still impacting us. The world has changed even before that. What happened to Toys R Us, Radio Shack? All is getting closed down. Amazon is getting bigger, bigger, and bigger. Amazon, just an example as consumer shopping platform. Honestly, I use it a lot as well. But besides that, there is many other stuff which moves to the cloud way before COVID. Cyber attacks. Unfortunately, it's still big. It's hurting many organizations. As you know, you're either being hacked or you don't know that you've been hacked yet. So you should change your mindset of thinking, I am secure, my environment will protect me. Unfortunately, this is not the case. Natural events, yes. We used to always have floods, rain, more rain than normal, or colder days or hotter days, but we all are aware that around this time, it's even more visible. Some of them call it of global warming, some of them is calling for whatsoever. But there is one thing, we have to get adjusted to what's happening in our lives. The global economy. What happened to all these big airlines? They're all grounded. What happened to all these factories when we were at lockdown? They were shut down. So the small shops, the shopping centers, you name it, things are changing, and we're calling this the new normal. So what's happening in the current cybersecurity landscape? Yes, I know it's a digital transformation summit, but you cannot transform digitally if you don't think security right up front. Before even touching any system, you have to have security in mind. You have to have proper security partners on your side. You have the proper cloud partners in your other side. When you look in the world, there is major cybersecurity attacks, and unfortunately, as I said earlier, it's not about when the attack is going to happen. It's not about if the attack is going to happen. It's about when the attack is going to happen. Remember, 2 types of organizations. Name me a continent, name me a country where there was no incident, cyber incident. Unfortunately, from Mauritius, a little country in Africa, to Russia, one of the largest countries, or Australia, India, you name it. Let's talk about India, right? Microsoft CEO, Google CEO, Adobe CEO, they're all Indians. Very smart people coming out from this country, but still the attacks happen there. So it has nothing to do with being smart or being able or being capable. It's about not getting ready and not having the assume breach mindset. So here's my question to all the attendees which is listening to us. Who led the digital transformation in your company? Was it your CEO? Was it your CIO? Was it the CISO? Or was it COVID-19? In one mind, you had to switch from your office to your home. Yes. For example, I work for Standard Chartered Bank. I didn't have the luxury to say, sorry, I cannot work from home. Luckily, I had a laptop. We are big in India as well, and not everybody had a laptop. We had to find the solution to switch within a week, which we did actually. So what happened during COVID? We were not the only one who switched. It was also the hackers who switched together with us. They started to change the attack vectors. Yes, I know. Phishing used to be always number one attack vector, and it's still. But today, it's easier to get phished compared to earlier. Why? Because you are not inside a castle anymore. You used to be in your office. To go to your office, you have to travel, or you have to go to your office, whatever it is. From there, you have to go to, you have to pass security. You have to go to the elevator to the right level, to your office, if you have one, if not to your desk where you work. Then you will connect into a corporate network, which is not the case anymore. You are working from anywhere, anytime, unfortunately, these days. And we can see that the hackers took advantage of that. There was more than 400% grew on threats. More than 471 fake online shops were discovered. More than 18 million viruses, malware has been blocked. If you don't use what I use, for example, Commodore Cybersecurity for protecting yourself, if you don't have an equivalent partner which can protect yourself, then you were unfortunately in front of the danger, which was ransomware. Ransomware, as you all know, it's not new. We used to see this in non-IT environment. People used to come, kidnap children, ask for money. If you don't pay the money, they used to, harm that child. But in 1980s, the first ransomware attack happened with the properties, physical attack, where someone used the properties to ransom the environment and ask for money. After that, the big one happened, I think late 2016, 2017, which called WannaCry. What happened is NSA was using Eternal Blue. Microsoft discovered that. They blocked, they actually patched, not blocked, sorry, this vulnerability. But guess what? The first, yes, I repeat, the first cyber attack of WannaCry happened after not 2 days, not 2 weeks, not 20 days, not 40 days, after 2 whole months. Then, back then I used to work with Microsoft. Hey, Microsoft, it's your fault. Actually, no. There was the solution and you did not patch your computers. Here's a question for all of you. How far are you behind your patches? Look, I understand some patches can break your computers, but you should understand that breaking a computer, you have to rebuild that computer. It will take maybe 1 or 2 days. Yes, stressful, but getting your organization ransomed will cost you millions. You don't believe me? Look at Garmin. Just happened 2 months ago. They were demanded to pay $10 million US. Yes, they negotiated this to 4 million, but they had no other choice than paying. Maybe they paid cyber criminals, terrorists. Maybe they had to do it because otherwise they had to shut down. They didn't have proper backup. They were not structured properly. They did not use the benefit of digital transformation. They did not update their environment regularly, not implement basic solutions like defense in depth, isolations, cyber hygiene, least privilege. As a result, it costed them $4 million US. And unfortunately, they were not the only ones. So the cyber attacks are never ending. Is phishing the only attack vector? Unfortunately not. There is still credential theft. There is still misconfigurations error. There is still brute forcing. There is still exploit vulnerability attacks. So all this is still happening, but what you have to keep in mind is, regardless of your organization, you could be in healthcare, manufacturing, financing, education, you name it. As you can see, nearly a government, all of the organizations, they had some sort of hit. So what are you going to do? Are we going to stop remote working? Of course not. Are we going to shut down computing? Of course not. So as the cost is going higher, as social engineering is still one of the major attack vectors, hacking the human minds, what are we going to do? Of course, we're going to transform digitally. Where possible, implement zero trust. It's easy to say, implementing zero trust. But you have to give the opportunity to your employees to work from anywhere, any device, without trusting anybody. So, we are humans. We trust each other. We talk to each other. But the trust should be verified every time. This could be to your bench. This could be your headquarters. This could be your public cloud or private cloud. So when you look at CIOs, after COVID, they started to shift their thinking space, which we want for years. I wrote many books about it. They didn't want to listen. What happened? They had to speed up on this because they had to work with processes, workflows, business cultures, and this had to all transform. Many people were hesitant of having, for example, software service, but you saw the benefits during the COVID environment. That's why if there is one organization which closed this with benefits, it was for sure technology companies. Zoom, for example. What was Zoom before COVID? Yes, they were there. They were the remote platform, but they are much, much bigger today. As a result, they received lots of cyber attacks as well. Many meetings like this, which has an OTP, one-time use password, now was exposed because Zoom didn't give this opportunity before. And I blocked, for example, Zoom usage where I work, and our CEO, for example, made a public statement saying that we are not going to use Zoom. Yes, now it's getting better. They changed their CEO, CIO, and so on. But digital transformation is important. It has lots of benefits. Benefits for us as employees. Benefits for customers. Remember, banking 30 years ago, you had to go to the store, to the bench. You had to queue up. You had to have identities with you. You had to carry the cash with you. Today, you can do it all from your mobile phone. This helped you optimize operations, transform your products. To get a credit card, you had to fill forms, sign pages and pages. Now we can do it digitally in less than 10 minutes with a Standard Chartered credit card, for example. But it's not easy. Why it's not easy? You have to have the foundation with security in mind built. You have to meet the objectives. You have to know what to do step by step. Again, there were other great sessions. They talk about digital transformation by itself, but I really want to talk about the success factors. For example, the vision. Vision and strategy is important. Culture, it's important because if you cannot change the mindset of your employee, no matter what you do, you will not be able to be successful. It is a potential based on the capabilities. So build your strategy. Ensure your digital transformation is understood and loved. maybe respected by your employees, very possible by your customers. If you remember when, for example, Microsoft enforced MFA, multi-factor authentication, to their cloud solutions, many people said, "Oh, this is painful. My phone is not with me." But once the credential theft attack happened, and the people they had MFAs were less affected, we saw the benefits. The potential, as I said, can be found. It depends on the organization. Yes, you have to go through some pain during this process. You have lots of legacy applications. I bet so. You have some environment which it's hard to move to the cloud, but then why is hybrid there? You have issues to come. You use Skype because you love your phone, but see, now we are connecting, not maybe via Skype, but via Skype Vector, which is Zoom. So once you know the capabilities, you envision your future business, you define your business, you know your operating model, you build a compiling case for change, and importantly, you share your vision. I repeat, you share your vision, then you can be successful. For that, you have to define what digital transformation means for you. You have to list customer goals. Don't forget, at the end, you as CIO, you as CTO, have to sit in a board and explain for non-techies what benefits this is going to bring you in. You have to list the steps to implement your digital transformation. Discuss the outcomes, the achievements. Describe your partners and how your partner product is going to help you. I mentioned Microsoft, but of course you can use Google, Alibaba, Amazon. I mentioned Komodo. Of course you can use Microsoft or whatsoever. But there is a reason why I use, me personally, Microsoft and Amazon as backup, Komodo and Microsoft as backup for my security, for example. So you can use many others. So security digital transformation is about also knowing your attackers. You have to think like a hacker to be able to protect. Remember, my second income was CIA, confidentiality, integrity, availability. If you don't know your enemy, but you know yourself, you cannot protect neither yourself or your loved ones. You have to also know not just the enemy, not just the attack background. You have to also know how to, your technology, you know. If you combine these three, then you can build security. I did not say this. Sun Tzu, 2,500 years ago, he wrote a book called The Art of War. He said that in his book, I just changed it a little bit, made it cybersecurity flavor. So, as defenders, we have to deal with hackers. And there is a slight difference between us and hackers. For an attacker, they have to find only one way to get in, while I have to protect 95,000 employees, in more than 100 countries for the last 160 years. God knows how many applications, God knows how many servers, endpoints. They have to find just one. But if you have a proper security partner, all what you have to do as a defender, find one part of the attack, have a proper SOC, Security Operations Center, or managed SOC with Komodo, for example, or with Tata, for example. You know, I'll give you an Indian company example, but whatever partner you select, please don't look just at the bottom line, which is the price. See what they offer you, how they come to you. You know, it's not, I'm going to give you 20 people. Sometimes having one experienced person is better than 20 unexperienced person. So be careful when it comes to this. Practice thinking like an attacker. Know for everything what you have, if you get hacked, what can you do to get out of it? Build a proper cybersecurity strategy. Building cybersecurity strategy is in the heart of your digital transformation. Importantly, again, I repeat, you cannot build security as much as possible. You have to build security as necessary with segmentation in mind, with defense in depth in mind, with least privileges in mind. As I said, you have to know your enemy and yourself, but this is not enough. You have to also know the attack background, but this is also not enough. You have to also know the technology that you use to be able to defend. There are lots of free sites that you can use. Again, I use Komodo, as I said, because they give me free antivirus, free EDR. Or you can use troyhuntheraldinpound.com, where you can see if your password has been hacked. It's open source. You can integrate it to your Active Directory environment. And if something is stolen, you can just get notifications. And if you look, I know my time is running out. There is already more than 10 billion. Hold on. Is the world population not 8 billion? But there is already 10.2 billion accounts hacked. Of course, don't forget, not everybody's using single accounts, right? Lots of big organizations, they've been hacked. So that's why you have to have this security tip for digital transformation. First of all, understand the security impact. So security is a triangle. You cannot make everything top secure because it's going to make it less functional and less useful. You have to find the balance between security, functional, and ease of use. Yes, we're going to use 500 characters passwords with MFA, but this is not easy to use at all. So you have to also understand digital transformation and its security impact. Security should not be balled in. It should be built in. You should adopt digital strategies while staying secure. Isn't that the same case? If you're carrying lots of money in your wallet, then you will not just carry your wallet in your hand like this, as I'm holding my pen. You will put it in your deep pocket and try to be always in the streets, which there's many people, right? Same applies to security. Put segmentations and ensure your most secure elements are in a different network, encrypted, with extra passwords. There is one more thing which you have to do. You have to create a championship culture from top to bottom. Yes, I'm the CISO, regional CISO in the bank. I know my boss is doing the same thing. You are responsible for cybersecurity, yes, but you are also responsible to make everybody cyber aware, from the cleaner to the receptionist, from the receptionist to the end user, to the manager, to you name it, everybody. And you have to be aware. It's like when you go with little kids outside, you let them walk a little bit, but you keep them in your eyesight. You know, otherwise they're going to get lost very quick. The same applies to cybersecurity. You have to see everything all the time. How? Via SIEM. How? Via SOC. How? Via technology partners, of course. And as I said, it's going to be complex. Yes, I know. Where do you think I get my hairs gray that much in the age of 43? Of course, because of like all this baldness. No, it's not coming from the family. It is the stress that I lived, but it was my job to ensure that it's happened in a speed that it's beneficial and secure. Again, I can talk days and days about this, but unfortunately, I'm coming end of my time. Please don't forget, if you tweet or tag us at LinkedIn or Instagram or whatsoever, tag us, Digital Transformation Summit and myself, you can win one of these books of your choice, okay, for 3 people. So thank you very much again, and I hope you enjoyed the session.